Why is Louis Theroux more likely to fly Virgin now?
Oh, yeah. Why is Louis Theroux a lot more likely to fly Virgin? I love your T-shirt, by the way.
Thank you very much.
British Airways have pulled its sponsorship of the Louis Theroux podcast after an interview with frontman of punk rap duo Bob Vylan, who defended chanting death to the IDF at Glastonbury Festival, stating he'd do it all over again. The airline said the episode breached its rules on politically sensitive content, effectively ending its partnership with Theroux. Did you happen to see these clips at all of this podcast?
No, but I did see Louis Theroux getting off a Ryanair. I did see Louis Theroux getting off a Ryanair flight recently.
Oh, OK. Well, maybe you've got the exclusive. That's why British Airways have done it. It's got nothing to do with Bob Vylan at all.
I mean, he's investigating all the wrongdoings of them.
Yeah.
How bad is it going for him if he's flying Ryanair?
yeah. How much was BA sponsoring him anyway?
I understand the backlash, but there should be a limit. I mean, I have no sympathies for Louis Theroux or Bob Vylan, but I mean, flying Ryanair is supposed to be a successful podcaster.
Yeah, no, exactly. What do you think about this? I mean, did you see the clip?
I haven't, but I do think it's... I mean, what are BA thinking? Like, we need to have something less sensitive. Yeah, what have they looked at in his back catalogue? Why doesn't he go back to doing white supremacy documentaries or adult films? Or he's done some outrageous things. Are they really surprised?
Well, I think the difference is here is that, yes, he did documentaries on white supremacy, but he didn't sort of go, yeah, and add to it. He didn't sort of add to the hate. And that's the argument that's happened here, is that he sort of didn't do any pushback. Did you see it at all? Didn't do any pushback.
Surely his thing is, like, give them the mic, shine the light on the madness. Don't we want to know where Bob Vylan is and what he thinks?
He made comments that actually added to this and arguably added his own racist comments.
Wow.
So that is partly why. I agree that there is this idea that, you know, of course we should talk about political stuff. But in this particular case, a lot of people are saying he crossed the line.
I thought he was maybe... I didn't see this. From what I read on the article, looked like... And I thought he was only guilty of being too acquiescent or too, too soft on Bob Vylan, who, as the name suggests, is a villain.
He mentioned, like, Jewish exceptionalism from the Holocaust. It was, like, nasty stuff that he added to it. It was a bit cranky.
I mean, respect for freedom of speech. I obviously don't agree with this if it's gone like this. But I think it's good airline policy not to provide content that enrages potentially the passengers. You know, sometimes, I mean, it's already bad when sometimes, I don't know who chooses these bits, but sometimes airline in-flight offer includes plane crash movies. I mean, a lot of stand-up comics have covered that extensively, but this is also very bad.
OK, well, look, I would like to throw out a welcome to our new sponsors, British Airways. Anyway, let's go to our next question from Anton.
Is Jimmy Carr brave?
Yes, Jimmy Carr brave. Jimmy Carr has praised cancelled writer and comedian Graham Linehan after he was arrested for anti-trans tweets. He told an audience in America, "You've got the First Amendment, cherish it." Let's have a little look.
You agree with Graham or J.K. Rowling or not, you have to admit the thing that's in short supply in our society is bravery. And he's a brave guy. It's easy now to say, yeah, men are men and women are women, and then there's a very tiny percentage of people that want to live different lives, let them do their own thing. But at the time when he started saying it, it was incredible.
I remember Jimmy when he told jokes.
I liked his little sermon. Well, he's right. I mean, it's not funny. He's exactly right, isn't he? Well, I suppose there's a bit of a where were you 3 years ago, Jimmy? But
well, actually, interestingly, Graham Linehan came out and said that he was the only comedian at the time who visited him at the peak of it all. He was dealing with his own attempts at people trying to cancel him for his jokes. But he did come out and he did actually show his solidarity. And I think that's more than most.
Well, it certainly is. And also, this is great because people who like Jimmy Carr, I mean, there was a few cheers in that, wasn't there? At the end? Not a lot, but a few, like 3 or something. People who like Jimmy Carr, they'll probably get on board. I think this is kind of, we're easing into it's OK now to say men and women are fixed. As it were.
Yes, as it were. Now, Nicholas, you do like great sets every month at Comedy Unleashed. It's comedy club in London, tours around the country as well. But the whole point of it was to sort of say the unsayable, be able to joke again about this stuff that you think that comics, it's our job to poke fun at ideologies that don't make sense. It's refreshing, I think, to see Jimmy Carr calling this out.
No, absolutely. I agree. Timing is everything. As Jimmy mentioned himself, when Graham Linehan said what he said, or J.K. Rowling, when they started saying it, it was more difficult, obviously. And it would have been nicer if Jimmy had supported them earlier, but still credit when credit is due. He's, by the way, a few laughs, but he's doing this in America. And I watched the whole clip this time. A lot of bleeps. Hats off to the editor who had to put all those bleeps in it. But no, it's good, better late than never. Right now, yeah, it's easy to say men are men and women are women, more or less. I mean, it's not easy everywhere. If you go to have a gig at Goldsmith University campus or Portsmouth University.
Who books that?
Pardon?
Who books it?
Are you that hard up?
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck.
I'm getting the tube everywhere.
Not even Ryanair. But I mean, what I want to say is that right now, it's no more about men are men and women are women. It's relatively easier. Now it's about supporting the idea, for example, as per the previous question and debate. So it would be good if big guys of huge calibers like Jimmy Carr support also the heated issue of the moment when some comics are getting a lot of flack in the moment.
Absolutely. Well, our next question's from Roger.
Hello. Is it harder for white people to get into Oxford?
Is it harder for white people to get into Oxford? Leading universities, including Oxford, are under fire for making reduced grade requirements to non-white teenagers, even from wealthy families of top schools. Fueling claims the system is being applied arbitrarily, ordinarily intended to help disadvantaged applicants. Critics say the practice now risks becoming a form of discrimination or social engineering, with many calling for returning to admitting students based on merit alone. That's an interesting idea, don't you think? Merit?
Well, it should be merit, shouldn't it? Surely.
Obviously, you didn't go to university, but... What do you think about this, Cressida?
Well, to answer your question, is it harder? Yes, but not as hard as it is if you're Chinese, because they've made that another category. So I think I read there was something like 16% of people who get in despite not really having the grades they were supposed to get are black, and then it goes down to, is it 8% for white people? I might have that wrong.
6%.
6%,
yeah.
2% if you're Chinese. So it's really, really segregated. And I think you were just saying that it's not about class in this case, because this even applies regardless of what school you went to, what opportunities you've had. So it's just about colour. It's outrageous.
Well, this is it, because the universities are under this pressure to have a certain percent. I think it's like 25% of people going to university that have to be people of colour or different ethnic minorities. So it feels like they're using this way and getting rich black kids. And we've seen, of course, it's white young boys are the ones who sort of underperform the most, poor young boys. Underperform the most when it comes to academics.
Absolutely.
And need support.
First of all, they have this regulator, I think it's called the student office, if I'm not wrong, breathing on the back of their neck because they have to meet these diversity quotas. And secondly, they also need, so to speak, bums on the seats, especially when demand from overseas students for whatever reason drops. So they are desperate to lower the standards. But then leaving merit and going for DEI is always problematic or controversial, to say the least, because merit is supposed to be or is likely to be sacrificed. But then they do these contextualized offers. They see the wider context. Do you come from a broken home? Are you a young carer? Did you have obstacles? Fair enough. This is already kind of controversial area. But then they go for color, like black, brown. One parent was born overseas, and some of these blacks or browns, they are actually wealthy and they're doing well. So ironically, it underlines that low expectation hypocrisy, where just by being black or brown, they expect you to have had a difficult life, whereas they're actually doing quite well.